Welcome to Arirang News. I'm Kim Dami in Seoul. Today marks the 68th Memorial Day in South Korea, when the country observes a holiday to remember those that fought and sacrificed themselves for their country. During the main ceremony at Seoul National Cemetery, President Yoon stressed the importance of national defense and honoring the patriots. Our Kim Do-yeon reports.
As South Korea celebrates its 68th Memorial Day, President Yoon took the opportunity to emphasize national defense in front of fallen heroes at Seoul National Cemetery. Pointing towards North Korea's missile and nuclear provocations, he touted the new Washington Declaration and the enhanced support it ensures.
저와 바이든 대통령은 지난 4월 미 핵 자산의 확장 억제 실행력을 획기적으로 강화하는 워싱턴 선언을 공동 발표했습니다. 한미 동맹은 이제 핵 기반 동맹으로 격상되었습니다.
During his speech, he also took the chance to remind the country of the importance of remembering and honoring the fallen soldiers. Specifically, he repeated words heroes and freedom 8 times in his 9-minute speech, with words remember and respect also appearing for multiple times. This comes as the Yoon administration has reorganized the government to upgrade veteran affairs to full-fledged ministry status from the sub-ministry level. He also said the country has to pay tribute to the patriots and fallen soldiers to be recognized by the international community as a proper nation.
대한민국은 국민이 주인인 나라, 자유민주주의 국가를 건설하기 위해 독립과 건국에 헌신하신 분들, 공산 전체주의 세력에 맞서 자유를 지켜내신 분들의 희생과 헌신 위에 서 있습니다. 이분들은 국가의 영웅입니다.
During the ceremony, President and First Lady Kim Gun-hee also attended the burial of a recently identified fallen soldier from the Korean War, Kim Bong-hak, as his body was laid alongside his brother Kim Sung-hak, already resting at the Seoul National Cemetery. According to the spokesperson for the top office, President Yoon also paid an unexpected visit to the part of the cemetery where Vietnam War veterans and those that died fighting North Korean spies were laid. This part was made in 1981, and it was the first time a sitting president visited and paid their respects. According to an official at the top office, the move could be seen as a reminder of the alertness required for the nation with what's currently happening on the Peninsula. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
South Korea is bidding to rejoin the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member after an 11-year break. The UNSC will hold an election for non-permanent members to serve from 2024 to 2025 at 10 a.m. local time in New York on Tuesday. Now, South Korea is the only candidate from the Asia-Pacific group in this election, with 2 from Africa, 1 from Latin America, and 1 from Eastern Europe also selected. Although there is no competition, the candidate must obtain more than 128 votes out of the 192 member states participating to be elected. Experts anticipate that as South Korea is the only candidate from the Asia-Pacific region, a successful result is highly likely. Now, if South Korea is elected, it'll be the 3rd time the country has served a term on the UNSC. 4 Chinese and 4 Russian military planes entered South Korea's air identification defense zone without giving prior notice. Seoul's Joint Chiefs of Staff reported a few hours ago that the 8 military jets flew across the Cadiz from 11:52 a.m. to 1:49 p.m. on Tuesday, but did not violate South Korea's territorial air. South Korean military recognized the planes before they entered the zone and deployed fighter jets in case of emergencies. Earlier on Tuesday, China's defense ministry said Chinese and Russian air forces conducted their 6th Joint Area Strategic Patrol in the airspace over the waters of the East Sea and the East China Sea. Cadiz is non-territorial airspace, but it is an area where pilots of foreign aircraft usually identify themselves before entering to prevent accidents. The 20th Shangri-La dialogue, a prominent Asian defense forum, was dominated by the rising tensions between the U.S. and China. Despite the conclusion of the event, contentious issues, especially those revolving around the Taiwan Strait, remained unresolved. Kim Hyun-sung reports.
Curtains came down on the 20th Shangri-La dialogue at the weekend, but not before underscoring tensions between two global superpowers, the U.S. and China. This rising friction threaded through the entire event.
The intensifying rivalry between the U.S. and China was made strikingly evident here at Shangri-La, with strong words fanning the flames of an already tense situation.
Mutual respect should prevail over bullying and hegemony. Facts have proven that where there is hegemony in power politics, there will be no peace and wars will abound.
The defense chiefs from the two countries didn't even get a chance to sit down for one-on-one talks, with Lee Shang-fu turning down American counterpart Lloyd Austin's calls for discussions. All the pair shared was a handshake during the opening reception.
And a cordial handshake over dinner is no substitute for a substantive engagement. And the more that we talk, the more we can avoid the misunderstandings and miscalculations that could lead to crisis or conflict.
Much of the conflict stems from the discord over the Taiwan Strait, with both sides refusing to budge from their stances.
We are determined to maintain peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. And so are a number of countries around the world, and that number continues to grow.
Let China make it clear once again. The more ramped up the separatist activities for Taiwan independence, the more resolute our countermeasures will be, and all foreign interference will end in failure.
Meanwhile, the forum was paralleled by a tense incident taking place in the Taiwan Strait. A Chinese warship came alarmingly close to an American destroyer during a joint Canada-U.S. mission. The standoff reflected how brewing tensions between U.S. and China continue to pose a problem, with the Shangri-La dialogue concluding no closer to a resolution. Kim Hyun-sung, Arirang News, Singapore.
Now, over in Ukraine, the ongoing conflict with Russia has intensified after Ukraine started its counteroffensive. On Tuesday, a dam in the southern Russia-controlled Ukrainian city was partially destroyed. Our Choi Soo-hyung tells us the latest update on the war.
The dam in the Ukrainian city of Nova Kakhovka in the southern Ukraine has been partially destroyed. According to Reuters, the Ukrainian military claims Russian shells destroyed the upper part of the dam. The Kakhovka Dam controls water flow in southern Ukraine, and officials are concerned about the extent of the damage, as it could lead to flooding in the surrounding areas. Officials said there is no immediate danger to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant located in the dam's vicinity. The ongoing conflict has only become more intense. Ukraine denied launching a counter-offensive through a spokesperson on the 5th, but the war seems to have entered a new phase. According to the Russian Defense Ministry on the 6th, they announced they had again repelled a large-scale attack by the Ukrainian army in Donetsk in southern Ukraine. They claim to have repelled 28 tanks, 109 armored vehicles, and over 1,500 Ukrainian soldiers. In response, Ukrainian Deputy Minister of Defense Hanna Maliar stated via telegram that the Ukrainian army is conducting offensive on the Eastern Front, recapturing areas in northern Bakhmut and advancing in the surrounding areas. President Zelensky also thanked the Ukrainian army.
I am grateful to every one of our soldiers, all our defenders who, during this day, have provided the news we have been waiting for. Fine job, soldiers in the Bakhmut sector. We see how Russia reacts hysterically to every step we take there, all positions we have taken. The enemy knows that Ukraine will win.
Based on increased Ukrainian military activity detected by infrared sensors, experts stated that the war could unfold in new ways, involving modern warfare tactics with Western support and training, sabotage and intelligence activities within Russian territory and more. Also, pro-Ukrainian Russian militia have battled continuously in the Russian territory of Belgorod, bordering Ukraine. Meanwhile, the BBC reported that since Putin's forced conscription order in September last year, millions have left Russia. On the 6th, Russia announced it would begin conscription through text messages, despite claiming not to require additional mobilization. Russia has continuously taken measures to prevent its citizens from evading military service. Choi Soo-hyung, Arirang News.
We thank you for watching Arirang News. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Korea time. Until then, goodbye.